is that I feel like not enough American Smash players are willing to do their research about the other regions inside of Smash. Because believe it or not, you look over in Europe and you could see a completely different slate of characters winning. Every single time I see like a Twitter graphic of maybe like the top 32 in Japan, I'm like, really? That character got that far? I feel like the scenes are so different, and it's only a true test of time when they actually come together to see what really the meta is. Because, you know, one region could have a mid-tier here ranked super high somewhere else. So I don't know, it really kind of depends. But
well, you're talking about those different metagames, right? And it's interesting to see those metagames collide now if Yori does decide to pull out that Steve, because by far and away, Steve is more popular in America than anywhere else. And, you know, partially because a lot of us in America grew up with Minecraft and we want to see how far we can push that Steve meta. Yori is one of them, and it's going to be interesting to see how Ogey interacts with, I was thinking about Yori, and then there was Ogey, and then I mashed them together into Yogi, and we're not, there is no boo-boo or picnic basket. I mean, it's going to be anything but a picnic to take this game against Steve, because Falcon, you know, if Steve decides to camp him out, we have to see how he deals with those blocks.
Yeah, honestly, though, in Tri-State, we have a ton of Steves, and I feel like all of the Steves I've seen here all play different from one another. There's, of course, the more defensive style Steve, right? You have the Steves that build walls, and they run behind them, farm materials, but there are some Steves that I have seen that don't really go for that. They really kind of rely on using more of the Steve broken aerial, like that back air, you know what I mean? That reaches so far. But let's talk right now. We're going to go into our first match here on this stream. We got Yori versus Ogey. Let's see how this one's going to go.
Yeah, starting off at Pokemon Stadium 2, and right off the bat, Yori is electing to build those blocks and build a nice little house behind that platform, but a big early commit there, and what a great slide off on that up B as well already. We're going to have to see how these two interact, particularly in the ground game, because like you said, Steve's got some pretty impressive aerials, and this can go for a while because Falcon, as a heavy fast faller, will get jabbed for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely one of those characters where it's kind of like a training room character, right? Like, you definitely practice your combos on Falcon, but what I really like about Ogey's play so far is that they are playing so aggressive into Yori here. They're not really trying to give him any space to go in and start like farming up materials, so I can really appreciate that. And I mean, it's Falcon out of all characters. That's not a character you can even just like sit behind and just let come in. All right, here we go with the up air. Not gonna be able to find anything else. Oh, blasting the minecart. I feel like they were setting up for the back air there, but couldn't find it.
Have to be very careful about that minecart out of disadvantage, something that Ogey looks to be trying to hone in on. Of course, if you can connect a knee or the back air on the minecart, you can take the stock, and that's exactly what Ogey finds right there. Didn't even break the minecart, it was just directly on that blocky little hit.
Yeah, for sure. I like how Yori actually set down the anvil to kind of get a little bit of space. I know for some Steves, they really like putting down the anvil and doing a down smash because the lava will actually extend, and that means your hitbox is going to extend. But speaking of extend, we're going to extend on into that stock. That back air was super nice.
Yeah, once you have those diamond tools, that back air will kill from pretty much anywhere. And now you get the big combos. You were talking about how these Steves are combo fiends, 65%, and it takes a phenomenal recovery by Ogey, knowing that if you get touched by that pickaxe off stage, you are going to meet your doom. But this is a dead even game real quick.
Yeah, for sure. Down tilt not going to be able to come out. Meets him up with the up air. I feel like Ogey could try and go for a little bit more grabs off of the convert here, but good dash attack. Once again, I'm loving how they are always trying to at least fight back with the back air into the minecart. I feel like a lot of times people give it so much respect, but...
Yeah, you see what they're getting hit by the TNT because that re-grab timer, or rather the invincibility, goes lower when you have higher percents, and both of these players fire back with the stock each. Yori picked it up first, but Ogey did fire right back, so we go into the last stock dead even.
Yeah, and of course getting hit by a couple of the stone tools here. It's not going to be too much damage, but maybe a little bit mental. I feel like Yori is one of the Steves I was talking about earlier that does approach. So haven't seen too many walls. Let's see what the edge guard is. Down tilt into the up air. Looking forward to back air, but Ogey's just going to say, all right, let's get one knee getting started.
And left yourself vulnerable and then came right in. And I love to see aggression from Ogey here because we've seen a couple times he's backed off, been a little bit too respectful of what the Steve can do, or maybe trying to go for the big setups. But if you just get one hit as a Falcon, basically anywhere, that can continue for a long time. And we're looking to close out this game one in fiery fashion.
Ooh, speaking of fiery, that was definitely a little risky. I'm surprised Anvil didn't do its job there. Percentages are looking pretty even. I think if Falcon gets one of the, probably a down throw knee, that would definitely do a great recovery by Yori, but it's Ogey actually taking with the down air.
Yeah, the torso hitbox and that late hit combining to give you that sour spot, which it's weird to call it a sour spot because it's so strong. It hits pretty much as strong as any of his other side-facing aerials, and you can see perfectly set up to just spam that down air at ledge. Something very effective for Falcon and something that he was free to do because Ogey recognized that Yori did not have any iron, and coming on stage without iron, much more difficult to Steve because you can't just contest with that minecart.
Very, very true. Once again, I love the way that both of these players are playing. They're playing super aggressive. I know, once again, one character is a little bit more polarizing than the other in certain metas, but Ogey right now showing that they do know this matchup. I feel like there's a lot of mastery here. All right, we're going to start off with those signature Steve up tilts, and yeah, that's a guaranteed 60.
And Ogey went for the big damage too, wanted to catch Ogey immediately going low with the minecart, but no dice right there. It will still be 81%, but you're talking about it, right? Steve can be one of those touch-of-death characters. Captain Falcon polarizing in that right himself as well. And look at Ogey barely able to scrape through that up smash. Like you said, matchup knowledge is right there for him.
Ooh, okay, great air dodge to avoid the knee here. We're practically even in percent. Only one hit, but speaking of hit, minecart hit going to come through. Let's see what the edge guard is. Good on Ogey to kind of retreat underneath the stage to avoid the anvil and still able to come back up. All right, back air is going to be the option here from Yori. They can take this out. That air dodge on stage was very, very risky.
And it's not going to quite do it with that forward air either. Phenomenal drift from Ogey. Definitely seems like he knows those positions where you can get that maximum back and forth on the up B. Each of these players still looking to get their first stock. And this could be it for Yori, and it will be out of the minecart. It is a tough thing to deal with when you're a grounded-based character like Falcon.
Yeah, here we go. We're going to see Yori actually utilize the wall for the first time. I felt like there was kind of a setup there. Not going to be able to find anything, though. Ogey really just needs one of these Falcon conversions. We've seen from game one that they can get it. Nice back air. Looking for something else, though. Can't find the down air either. Oh, Yori's not going to stall a little bit.
Yeah, that's one of the big things that Steve has over a lot of characters, that you can pick and choose when you fall down. It's kind of the same as being a character like Hit or Kirby, where you have multiple double jumps and you can stall on your way down. But right now, Ogey is not stalling for anything. He wants to get that 3-stock to 1 lead and looks like he might be in a good position to do so. Although without iron, again, Ogey's ledge trapping was very good without it. And here we go. 2 diamonds in the inventory for Yori, looking amazing in this game too.
Yeah, no, the percentages are starting to fly away from Ogey here. Doesn't even get the strong hit, but that strong hit goes there. And at almost 100% Kimona, this is going to be a really, really hard stock to take back unless, you know what, couldn't find anything.
Almost no matter what, Ogey is going to be contesting with diamond tools the rest of the game, which means that you have to take your advantage as far as you can, because it doesn't take much for Yori to take it very far against you. Once again, phenomenal drift coming back to the ledge there from Ogey, who's now trying to open up this Steve and gets the knee out of the up air. The delay knew that Yori didn't want to mash. Maybe he was trying to back up for the minecart, and all of a sudden, the French Falcon in the lead.
Yeah, for once, honestly, I feel like Ogey has been fighting their honest time back. All right, gonna go for the TNT setup one more time, and I feel like that whole stock was actually thanks to a lot of that Falcon rage as well. I mean, I think Steve was probably at like 80–90% at that point. Oh, but of course, diamond back air to the face, and we're on last stock here, Kimona.
Yeah, you don't even need to be at the percents that Ogey was at for that back air to do it, but look at the delays from Yori, 79%. An opportunity to take the stock as the Flint and Steel comes out. How can Ogey make it back? It's with the drift again. He is still holding on.
Oh my God, just the spacing on Ogey's insane. All these drift backs and everything. Fortunately, is going to be hit by the anvil. Looking for something else though. Feel like the win condition here for Ogey is going to be this grab.
Ooh,
you
phenomenal
see him
mash. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness, here we go. Ogey just trying to find their way in, but now Yori's going to take that more defensive playstyle now. Build up a diamond tool. You know exactly what they want, and it's going to look a little scary, but this could be it.
Ooh, but Yori not ready to let the game croak just yet. You see, with all these materials built up, and that was a big whiff from Ogey, but Yori did not have the punish ready just yet. You see him using the burst movement of that powered rail minecart to make sure that he doesn't stay in Falcon's threat zone for too long.
Yeah, I gotta watch out though. There is no iron on deck for Yori anymore, so I feel like that may be the win condition. I'm surprised at this point that Yori isn't going back and like building that wall and farming, because really, even though you didn't need that much iron, you were running out real quick.
And having one iron was exactly what he needed to take that game. Caught Ogey on the overextension. Anvil came out, and it was a nail-biter of a game 2, even though Yori got that big lead early on in the game. But yeah, at 157, trying to push that advantage deep against Steve is not something that you can just do all willy-nilly. Even as Falcon, right, where you love to just mash buttons against your opponent. But yeah, Yori coming out on top. And honestly, you see how late into the game you're still building with dirt and wood blocks, which are blocks you can't mine on Pokemon Stadium 2. There's that big damage off of the jabs to the forward smash. Again, if you have a long track like PS2, you're actually going to be able to carry Falcon a long way with those combos. So it's a stage that had, in theory, a lot of advantages for Yori. Took 2 games to get the win on it. And now Ogey will try to finish this out in Game 3 on his counter pick, and it will be small battlefield. That is a scary prospect because this is a phenomenal Steve stage.
I feel like, honestly, everybody at this point just loves this stage. I feel like not a lot of characters have a bad time with small battlefield. It's more like personal preference. But Yori coming out of the gate, literally swinging at this point, already 72% on Ogey, but Ogey going to fire back now with a grab, but unfortunately nothing comes too much of it.
Yeah, we've seen Ogey caught out of position a couple of times, just a little bit too close to the Steve, and there is the forward air. Yori has been looking for that this entire game, wanted the spike, and finally got it. And this is a big lead once again to be working with against Ogey.
For sure. All right, here comes a couple of those up tilts for you. 63%. Honestly, fastball like Falcon can't really do much out of it. I love the way that Yori was actually taking the aerial approach while the minecart slid across the stage to try and get an aerial out of it, but oh my goodness. There's just no way that Ogey is not feeling a little bit frustrated at this point because he really hasn't been on stage for too long this game.
He hasn't been able to get his feet on ground, knows about that TNT setup on the platform, though Steve will be safe underneath it as long as he activates it, whereas your opponent will have a rough time. Here's Ogey getting a little bit of damage, but you've got to close out this stock soon because the combo game from Yori has been so consistent.
Yeah, very true. Good recovery, back, great angle, back throw. Going all the way out there with the grab. Looking for anything else, though. Might as well take your time and get a couple of materials. And oh my goodness, the up throw out of all things.
Yori says if it was a good morning, I'd be fishing. So it's looking like a good morning for Yori right now. 3 stock to 1 lead, has so many materials in the back pocket. Here's more damage as well. Ogey will finally get 1 stock, but is it going to be too little too late? You have got to mount, oh my goodness, something insane.
Yeah, no, it was looking a little scary there. We know as soon as the minecart comes out, Steve is always looking for that forward air down. And speaking of forward air, going to be able to hit one, trying to find something else, going for the full-blown F-smash, Kimona, no fear.
I mean, when he's at that kind of percent, it may as well KO when you've got those diamond tools. You can hear how scared I am of this Steve, and Ogey has to be feeling much the same way. But 55%, juicy time for a big combo, but great DI on the up airs from Yori to hang on for another day.
Yeah, for sure. Going to be able to find the first hit nair. Great SDI into the stage. And here comes Ogey trying to find something. I hear the French in the background getting really hyped up. And Yori, all they need is 1 back air, Kimona. Really, it's Diamond Tools. The stars are aligning in Yori's favor, but can Ogey change the fate of time?
Ogey has to keep the pressure on. You just can't get counter hit like that when the Steve is working with so many materials. Up throw, not quite going to do it. But you have to watch that TNT on the left platform. It doesn't let Ogey escape up there. That is why that minecart was a perfect option for Yori to pick. And he will close out the set 2-1 over one of Europe's finest, moving on in the bracket.
Yeah, that was looking such a good game 1 for Ogey here. Felt like they had all of the matchup knowledge. And then, once again, Yori just kind of resorted to the Steve defensive playstyle and ended up working out for them really, really well. It was a really great set to start us off today.
Well, and the biggest thing that impressed me about Yori, honestly, is just the consistency in hitting those combos. I feel like in Game 1, you weren't getting as much bang for your buck, but as Yori got a little bit more warmed up, I'll send that man to the heavens. You know, I feel like Yori finally found his groove, and it's interesting, right? Because with Steve, you have combos that are a little bit, they all look the same, right?
Yeah.
But they require very particular timing to get that maximum damage. And you saw, if you pay attention to those combos that Ogey does, that Yori is doing, you have a little bit of